What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we get excited about something so simple. It's that time again. You know, when it comes to The Wolf Among Us 2, we always talk about we can get excited off of simply just telling us the game's alive, right? Very few games have stooped to the level where simply saying that the game is still being worked on gets people excited and actually gives people hope for the future. Honestly, I would actually say Wolverine is getting to that point. But we have Dom the Bomb, of course, to thank for this. He posted a picture up at 6 a.m. and still no sign of the sheriff. And he did that to TellTale's Steam Summer Sale. And then they responded and they said, "Nice image, and The Wolf Among Us 2 is still in development. We'll say more when we can." Again, the expectations are so freaking low. And I make this video out of excitement as well. I would almost say equally in anger because, you know, okay, we know that it's happening. We'll say more when we can. You're the ones who are able to do it. You know, at least, I'll say this, at least for Wolverine, when Insomniac comes out and they almost talk cryptically, right? Where they're like, well, you know, it's sometimes a marriage of like when we can say something and when we're allowed to say something. And you say, okay, Insomniac is making it, but of course, PlayStation has the ultimate say of when they get to show it off. So there's a little bit of an excuse, right? I still don't think it's an amazing excuse, but there it's like, okay, you know, ultimately PlayStation has to sign off. TellTale is in full control here, okay? Again, like, there is excitement. There is a part of me that says, thank the Lord, because, you know, they post one of these things, and then for another 6 months, the belief that the game is going to happen continues to go down. It's actually quite funny how this works. They say it's alive, so, like, the excitement-o-meter, you know, raises to 100%, but then every day it drops by like 2%, right? Like every day. And so then a couple months later, it's down to 0 or even in the negatives where you think, oh, it's got to be canceled, right? Then they do another one of these tweets. They don't show it. There's no gameplay. They're not talking about it. It's just, hey, it's still happening. We'll say, you know, eventually we'll say something. Who knows? Who really knows when we're going to be able to say something? And again, the joke there is TellTale should be able to do. I don't get that. That part is almost pure anger from me because it's like when you can. Obviously, I imagine, all jokes aside, I imagine that means when it's to a suitable point, right? Where they're but I've said this before, and I will stay on this. I think that you're at a point where you just go for it. I'm not saying you release it like tomorrow, but like, you know, do you really need to be 98% of the way done with this game to show us a new picture? You know how much a screenshot would go to like making people feel good right now? Do you know how like just telling us something about it? Remember Hogwarts Legacy leading into the game coming out? They did honestly a lot of just kind of pointless tweets, but it was to get engagement. It was to get people excited. And, you know, they would just post like, here's the professor. You know, they had a little bit more to it. Here's a professor. Here's a plant that you can pick in the game. You know, it was, some of it was not groundbreaking stuff, but they were doing it every freaking day, right? And they did it for months to get people. I mean, it was for engagement. It was to get eyes out there. Obviously, a lot of people are interested in it. So I'm basically saying, like, copy them in the way of you don't have to be almost done. You don't have to show us a trailer. I don't know how many people are asking for a trailer tomorrow. I mean, of course we want it, but like, I don't know, when we talk about like a pulse check, just give me a picture. And that's like at your desk one day when you're playing through the game, just take a picture, non-spoiler, take a picture of a rock in the game and say, hey, look, it's the game. We'll get excited because, oh my God, it's a picture of The Wolf Among Us 2. How many of those do we even have? Like 6? Like it's not a lot. So take a picture of a coffee cup, you know, on a desk on Big B's desk, like do something. And then I think that would actually get people excited. So that's kind of where I'm at. Happy to see, but also frustrating because it's like, what do you mean? You have full control. What do you mean, like, when we're able to? You tell yourselves when you're able to. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.